Hey, what's up guys? It's Brendan from Best Life Weight Loss. And today's bike vlog, I want to talk about sweating. Specifically, how sweating doesn't automatically equal fat loss. And, you know, if you saw the short, you know that, I'm sure some of you know that already, that, you know, sweating is just water and sodium that you're losing from your body, water and salt, to cool your body down. I didn't know that. You know, I saw the saunas and I seen UFC fighters do their weight cuts. So, especially as a young man, I always associated, oh yeah, you know, you're working up a good sweat, you're burning fat. And that's not always the case. They can correlate, but it's not the direct causation. So, one thing that I used to do now that I look back and I was so fucking dumb about it. Because I used to live in New York. I was a porter at an apartment building. Basically, that's somebody that just like cleans, takes trashes out, and does minor maintenance routine and fixes certain things. I used to wear a fucking trash bag under my uniform. I used to make it tight, like skin tight trash bag, put my uniform on, sweating all day. I must have stunk to high heaven. I had no idea that I really wasn't burning fat, that I was just overheating myself. You know, I've learned over the years now that you should focus on having a cool environment. You know, instead of trying to overheat your body while working out just to sweat, you should actually try and be in a cool environment, because you're gonna be less tired. So instead of focusing on like, I gotta build up a good sweat, you want to focus on pace and intensity. You know, building a good sweat is great. You know, you're working out hard, you're going to sweat hard. But you could just make yourself a shitty environment where it's hot and dry, and you could be doing a shitty exercise and be sweating a lot. And that sounds silly, but that's things I used to do as a kid. That's things I was doing when I was 20. Fuck a kid or teenager. I was 22, 23, 24, thinking that, oh, if I just make a really hot, dry, shitty environment and do some shitty fucking workout, I'm gonna lose all this fat. And it wasn't like that, because when you're in a hot, dry environment, you're gonna be tired fast. You're gonna be dehydrating fast. You know? And I'm always talking about water. It's key. It's not just key to life. It's gonna be one of the main keys to your weight loss journey, is that water, baby. I got a couple of videos about water. Very important. And I keep the water next to me for that case in point of, you want to stay cool and hydrated, you know? And that's the other problem. When you're building a lot of sweating a lot, you might not be burning that much calories, but you're certainly dehydrating yourself faster, you know? Unless you're trying to be a UFC fighter making a weight cut, sweating without exercise, that ain't really doing anything. All you're doing is taking water off you and salt. So, you're better off just having a fucking cool environment, a fan near you. And that is why, you know, when you sweat, you cool down. So, like, I'll wipe the sweat off, but for the most part, I leave the sweat there to cool my body down. You know, my shirt gets fucking soaked. But I'll wear these design shirts sometimes, and it's nice, because the design gets cold as a sweat. So it kind of cools me down. So I'm an hour and a half in right now, and I feel good. Because I'm cool. Because I'm cool. Cool guy. Because there's airflow. I got the window in the kitchen open, so there's airflow coming through. It's the idea that I make a cooler environment. I have the water next to me, keeping me hydrated. I'm able to perform better. I'm able to keep a certain pace, a certain intensity. And that is really what's going to help you achieve your goals. That's what's going to burn the fat. That's what's going to burn the calories. You know, and it's just something that if I would have known 10 or 15 years ago, I might have not gotten so fat. But it was never something, you know, it was just never something I really searched up. It was just anecdotal evidence that I saw. You know, you see, like I said, the UFC fighters is the main point. But I mean, Rocky back in the day, fucking putting trash bags on and trying to sweat. You know, I was a big Rocky fan as a kid. So, looking at that, you know, you can get a lot of misinformation from movies and TV shows and even everyday people you talk to. Because not everyone's doing the research. I didn't do the research. I didn't do the research until I started taking this serious. And I wish I had. But hindsight's always 20/20. So, I never really try and harp or dwell on the past. I'll say, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. But it's not something I let weigh on my mind. It's not something I let control my future decisions. You know? So, it really comes down to intensity and pace. You know, on this channel I preach cardio. You know, these are bike vlogs. And especially the stationary bike, I can go really hard. I can go fucking fast. I can exhaust myself because if I need to, I can just sit on the floor. I'm already home. You know, it's harder for someone outside on a regular bike to go as hard as they can. They still got to make it home. You know, so I'm able to give more of an effort. You know, and you know, it's easy. It's easier in my mind to use the stationary bike than to go out. You know, and eventually I would like to get like a regular bike and go outside. You know, I'm still going to do the stationary bike, but it's like, it sounds like a cool mode of transportation to see everything. You know, I used to do it as a kid. Used to ride my bike all over the place. And it's definitely something I want to get back to. But the stationary bike is just, it's the routine too, you know. I preach the concept of like, you know, you can go to the gym, you're going to have a range of machines, a range of workouts. You can get fucking jacked. But I will always say, like, I don't know if I'd be as consistent if I couldn't just wake up and start exercising. If I couldn't just go to the bathroom and jump on the bike right after, I might not be where I am. You know, it's going to be different for everyone. You know, I'm always preaching, you got to find what works for you. Everything I'm telling you is things that I found that worked for me. There was so much that I went through that didn't work. And that's kind of what these videos highlight. I try and point out what works, what doesn't work, and how something that doesn't work for me, it might work for you. That's why I put everything out there. And I want you to try it all. Because your weight loss journey isn't some finite thing. You know? It's something that's going to be constantly changing, evolving, and you're going to be improving on. I'm constantly trying to improve on the everyday aspect of my journey. You know, when you're not working out, you should be working on your diet. I'm not saying eating healthy, I'm saying structure. You know, one of the biggest parts of succeeding in your weight loss journey is structuring your routine, your schedule. I've literally got videos for that, you know, but in this one, long story short, you know, so I can stop rambling, is that when you're working out, you want to go for a good pace, you want to go for intensity, and you want to stay cool. You don't want your body to overheat because you're just going to perform less and burn less. I hope you start your weight loss journey today and stay positive.